Yeah. Hello everyone, I am Qiniso Mthethwa, and today I'm going to be showing you how to configure Firebase and Unity for your project. So we're going to be doing a simple example on how to actually configure Firebase so that your user can actually log on using Unity. So yeah, you can actually decide the name for your project. Here I'm just going to call it VR in Firebase, and I'm going to be moving on. You can choose what you want to enable. So I'm disabling that. I can just leave this on and continue. Yeah, you choose your location, but usually best to just leave it as it is and just accept the terms and conditions. And then you create your project, move on to the next step. Okay, so here we're going to wait for this thing to load, and then it's finished. We're going to move on to actually configuring our Firebase project for with Unity. So it's finishing up. Okay, let me continue. Okay, so here we're going to go into our project view, project overview, and then go into our project settings. You're going to go down. So see that Unity icon. We're going to be clicking on that. And then here we can register our application. You can register for Apple if you have iOS, or you can register for Android, which is what we're going to be doing. So you have to go find your package name, build settings, Android player settings, and other profiles. Then go to build bundle identifier. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm in Unity, moving on to edit, project settings, and yeah, and then player settings. Go down and find your bundle identifier. So this is your Android. Make sure you're in Android. Then find your bundle identifier, which is your package name. Copy that. I'm going to paste it back at Firebase console. So paste it under your company name. And then you can just give it a different name just to make it easy to identify. And here I'm just going to call it VR login. Wait, yeah. Then register your app. So wait for that to load, finish up. Now moving on to the next step, which is where you have to download the configuration file. So just click download. Just save the file wherever you want to. I'm placing it in downloads. Already had this one, so I'm just going to download it again. There it is. So now we just have to take this file and actually place it into our assets folder in Unity, as it's shown here. So you can just place it anywhere inside the asset folder. So here am I in the Unity asset folder. I'm just going to drag and drop. Just open that. Yeah. Then find your file. There it is. And then just drag and drop it into your assets folder. Wait for that to finish loading, and we're done. So move on to our third step. I have to make sure that everything's okay. This is the package file. Everything's sorted here. And then here we are. Just click next. Then for the last one, you have to download the Firebase SDK for Unity. So download that zip file. It's going to take a while to actually finish. So I'm just going to skip over that part. And that is downloading now. And now it's done. Okay, so here's the file. Just find it in your downloads folder, then unzip it. So you just extract all, open it up, and then just extract the entire file. Let's find that folder. Oh, there it is. We just need to confirm everything that's inside. Let's see if everything's okay. And there we are. Those are all the components and assets that we need. So now we have to actually take those and put them into our Unity and then load them as well. So let's do that. So go to your assets, import a package, custom package, and then first take out the Firebase Analytics tool. I'm trying to find that. Here it is. So import that. Then click on import everything. Make sure everything is selected and then import that. And there we go. Just need to wait for that to finish and you're set. Okay, now you're going to import any other file that you might need. If you're using authentication, you have to import that as well. If you're using Firebase database, you're going to have to import that as well. So right now, I'm just going to look for Firebase authentication. And then we're going to import that into our Unity project. And then make sure everything's selected as well, and then import as well. So just do the same process over and over for every other library or file that you want to use. Okay, so for now, we're going to move on to scripts, which is where you actually get started with our coding. Then put in the logic for actually using Firebase on a Unity project. Let's open it up. So we called it Firebase Manager. Just delete that. We don't need this. We're going to put our own code in it though. So now we're just going to get started. Just going to close that. Yeah. So first, say you're using Firebase, get all the databases and everything else that we need for a project. Make sure everything is imported so you can actually get started with the code. So now create your authentication, database reference, and then let's start our functions as well. So yeah, just copy the same code, and this will actually solve any issues that might be found in Firebase as well. Then it'll let you know if there's no authentication or connection with Firebase. Let's do that. So let's actually get started. So first, we have to ensure that the user is actually present in our database to actually allow them to actually log into the system. So when they're already initialized, you just put in then build the structure. So yeah, we follow the same logic. So in this one, we're actually storing the scores of users for our project and then the progress as well. So we just need to input that logic into the database. And then the user saved if they were already existing in the program. That's the logic for my application. You can use different code for your different scenarios as well. You don't have to actually follow my example, but this is just like a simple scenario. So this is the function we're going to be focusing on for our project. This is the main one that we want to use to allow our user to sign into our main project using Firebase and Unity. And just finish up with logic for this. Again, this is specific to my scenario. Just need to make sure that this works so a user can actually view the scores when they're actually using my application. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go back to Unity and just make sure that this code works. Save that. Then let's go back. Let's see if everything's okay. Okay, yeah. Now it's covered. We're going to go to Unity and just make sure everything is loaded, no errors. Okay, everything's fine. So we're just going to move on to creating our other class. So we go back to create one of the scripts and just rename that user manager. And for that to load. And then we just open that up when it's done. Okay, come on, and it's done. So click that file, user manager, and then just open it up. So yeah, we're going to do the same thing, delete that because we don't actually need it. And then we're going to import all the classes that we need. So first, let me collapse this. And yeah, and start importing our classes. The first, using Unity Agent.UI, Team Pro, Firebase authentication, and the Firebase itself. We want to be actually using Sim Manager as well. Some of these are URL references, so we're going to be editing and accessing controls from in the Unity exercise itself from a hierarchy. Let's finish that and get that. And then again, need to check if we need to sign in and then go. Guys. This is the logic. Let's finish that. And yeah, that should basically do it for us. So let's check if everything's okay. No errors. Yeah, everything's done. So I'm done. Just save that. And then we're going to go back to Unity. The load, let's check. So this is the actual final product. So for our user, they're going to assign everything. So user manager is found. And then you put all those references. Let's make sure everything is assigned and there's no disable features. So this is how you actually add your components back onto a game object. Just make sure everything's assigned and then you can start running your project. So for us, I'm just going to try log in using our test accounts. This is what the user is experiencing in the VR space themselves. Let me just drag that closer. Yeah. So JHDS at gmail.com. This is our test accounts, but you still don't need to see our password, so just gonna get rid of it real quick. Okay, so okay. Yeah, it should do. So just sign in and log in. Waiting. Okay, everybody, that's it for me. That's the presentation that we have today, and I'm really grateful that you paid attention. I hope you learned something from this. So that's all for me. See y'all. This is me signing out.